there's no limits to how high you can go when you're constantly walking to the light, walking to positivity.
How do you deal with the adversity in your life?
I got married, divorced, had a kid, and lost my grandma all in the same year in 2020.
In 2012, I got in trouble with the law, and I ended up losing my relationship. I lost my car, I lost my house. I feel like I lost my family because of one decision that I made. And I had the rug pulled from underneath my feet. It sent me into a very deep, dark place, right? Where, my depression was definitely the worst it's ever been in that moment. I was dealing with anxiety. I had suicidal thoughts. And it was the worst and the best thing that ever happened to me. It was a wake-up call for me. After pretty much losing everything that I had worked my entire life for, feeling this extreme sense of loss and this extreme sense of disappointment in myself, it made it really hard to want to continue to wake up every day. I felt so discouraged, I felt so lost. And one of the most frustrating things, for me was I felt like I always had good intentions. I'm not a bad person, right? I made bad decisions, right? But at my core, I wasn't a bad person, so I couldn't understand why I was experiencing all of these challenges, this heartache, and it was 100% my fault, right? But to kind of get deeper into what the dark place felt like, man, it was I just felt like no matter what I did, I could not get right.
How do you overcome depression, anxiety, suicidal thoughts? What sequence of events catapulted you down that dark path? Was it heartbreak, bad decisions, childhood trauma? The catalyst for my depression was having an autoimmune disease that caused me to lose 75 pounds of muscle in just 6 months. I had to have my large intestine removed, and I had a bag on my stomach. But that's a topic for another day. On my journey to not just to become the best entrepreneur possible, but the best human possible, I made it my mission to pick the minds of my favorite entrepreneurs and fitness professionals to learn of their biggest challenges they had to overcome. Enter Briggs Fitness. Fitness professional and influencer, YouTuber, and mental health advocate. Emphasis on mental health advocate because he believes you have to transform your mind first and everything else will fall into place. That the body you want is owned by a higher version of yourself. And once you take care of your mental health, not even your inner demons can stop you.
If I didn't have my 2 kids, I can't say that I would be sitting here right now, bro. That they were the reason that I found the fight inside of myself. So when I asked myself, okay, what can you do to take control of your life? The first thing I thought was lose weight, right? Lose weight, get some confidence, get into a better physical place so that you can get into a better mental place, right? So that you can just reinvent yourself. I needed a new identity completely. I was tired of being the fat, broke dude who constantly made bad decisions. I wanted to reinvent myself. And I figured fitness would be a great place to invest the energy to, I like to use this comparison, like I needed to find something that was gonna knock down that first domino, right? That way the rest of the problems in my life would essentially, course correct. And fitness was the catalyst for that. And I decided to go all in. I decided to invest 150% of my energy to transforming my body. And what started off as a weight loss mission very quickly became a mission to become a better human in general, to reprogram my mind. And learning about the law of attraction and the power of our thoughts was a game changer for me.
So talk to the people about how fitness have helped you pull yourself from some of the most challenging moments in your life, like getting you out of your darkest places. How did fitness help you with that?
Well, you gotta understand, guys, when it comes to the physical body, what you see is a reflection of what I've been doing. Long story short, I love bodybuilding so much because it gives me discipline that I need. You know, when you're waking up, cooking your meals, or going to the grocery store, trying to get a workout in, you don't really have time to have idle time, because it takes a certain level of energy. Not just energy from calories, but mental energy and physical energy. Time is energy to maintain that look.
Yeah.
So I believe it gives me much needed discipline, which is why it kept me out of trouble so many years.
For sure.
I look at my past life, I wasn't taking the gym that serious. I look at the life I had of a 10-year streak of not getting in trouble, plus it was because I had something going on that was productive, not something negative.
Yeah.
Because negativity is just gonna keep digging until you eventually find something that's gonna stop you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But there's no limits to how high you can go when you constantly walk into the light, walk into positivity.
My man.
And I think that's what happened.
I think the first step to changing your mindset is to develop self-awareness. You have to know yourself. You have to understand the nature of your mind. You have to understand how your thoughts contribute to your reality, right? You have to understand how your attitude about a thing is everything.
You're a man that have overcome things in your life. 100%. I'm positive of it, right? I feel your confidence. You're oozing with that confidence. You feel me?
Yeah.
How do you deal with the adversity in your life?
Well, you just gotta look at it as like, all right, well, the world, when you look at it, it's a shitty place, and there are tons of shitty people. What type of people are you gonna be around? What type of thing are you gonna tell yourself? What are you gonna tell yourself when you wake up in the morning? You're gonna tell yourself, oh man, the world sucks, everybody sucks, my life sucks. Or you're gonna be like, yeah, the world sucks, everybody sucks, but I don't care, I'm gonna go work my ass off anyways. You know, and that's what it is. Because the world around you is not gonna change. The only thing that's gonna change is you. And the only way that you're gonna change is by wanting yourself to. So, in my case, I was able to change. In your case, you're able to change. Everybody has the ability to change. It's just a matter of how you're gonna access it. And then once you access it, are you gonna stay true to it?
So what do you credit the attitude? You have a great attitude about life. And I think your attitude about life is everything. That's your sauce, right? What do you credit that attitude to?
Just experiences, you know? Like, I learned early on in life that the world's a very crappy place, man. I grew up without either of my parents. I had to just survive, you know? So the fact that I'm here and the fact that I'm doing like next level things and setting records and just doing all this like different, like, you know, stuff that not a normal person would do, that's what really, like, one, that confirms it. And the experiences leading up to the success and all the cool shit, that's what the structure was founded on.
If you were to give one piece of advice to somebody that's dealing with something tough right now, what would that be?
Pick your head up, tie your shoes, make your bed, and get out there and go work hard. Because nobody's gonna do it for you. You can only do it for yourself.
Why are you doing it?
I think mental health is one of the most underspoken about issues that plague people in general, but especially black men. We've been taught not to share our emotions, not to share the things that we're battling, and suck it up. Suck it up, buttercup, you feel me? Like our dads have been teaching us this, our granddads have been teaching us to pretty much suppress our emotions. And it has caused problems. It's a traumatic thing for most people. And I think being that I have a platform where I can be vulnerable, I can lead with this vulnerability. My hopes is that it'll make the people watching this feel like it's okay to talk about this stuff. Because I remember feeling so isolated in my problems, bro. I remember feeling like, man, listen, I'm the only one dealing with this. And it wasn't until I'll run into an interview where someone shares something that they're dealing with that was similar to what I was dealing with, and it made me feel empowered, right? Or coming across it in a book, it made me feel empowered. Knowing that I'm not the only person struggling with said mental health issue, it made me feel like, okay, well, that means I can get past it. This person got past it, then I can do it too.
The biggest challenge I ever had to face in my life was at 14, I blew my fingers off.
Oh, wow.
Okay?
Wow.
And there was just a thing of understanding and growing how to get over that and allow this downfall to be a benefit for me in life.
Okay. So how did you manage to do that?
I was just taking it day by day, understanding that really, energetically, my fingers are still there. But this is just a challenge in life that I had to overcome to become better.
I love that.
And I learned that from being a child, okay?
Yeah.
So I was able to carry that through.
Yeah.
One thing also that happened to me when I went to the hospital, I called myself making a rocket into being a bomb, okay? And when I went to the hospital, I met a guy who worked for Battelle Memorial Institute dealing with missile development for the Navy. And he told me, whatever you do, don't stop doing what you're doing. Do it till you get it right. He said if scientists were to stop developing things because of setbacks, new things would never be developed. So what he was telling me to do, get back on the horse.
Yeah.
Get back in the game of life.
Yes.
Okay?
Yes.
And that's something that I've lived with a character through this life. Actually, I'm 71.
Amazing.
You know what I mean?
Amazing.
And this got me to the other side. Also, this later in life got me to get a free ride when I went to college.
Nice.
Because it was considered a handicap.
So you leveraged it to your advantage.
Absolutely.
I love that.
God made a way, man.
Yes, sir.
Didn't cost me a penny.
I love it. Thank you so much for your time, sir.
God bless you, brother.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Right, so I think it's important that we have these conversations in a public forum. And sometimes, obviously, it doesn't have to be on a public forum. I have to have these conversations on a public forum. But I think every person needs some sort of outlet, some sort of safe space to really be vulnerable, to really discuss some of the things that they're battling, because it's very therapeutic, right? And I think healing starts with that. One of the most powerful things I've learned was to sit with my discomfort, sit with the things that I'm struggling with, instead of always trying to escape it. I'm experiencing the discomfort. I'm not gonna turn to alcohol. I'm not gonna turn to food. I'm gonna sit in it. I am going to use that adversity to make me stronger, right? It's going to allow me to develop new capabilities because I'm fighting through it instead of trying to escape it, right? So having outlets, understanding the impact of what we're going through, right? And understanding the value of sitting in that discomfort and finding positive ways to process what we're feeling instead of suppressing it. It's going to be super important for people to understand that, but especially for men.
So I wrote a book called Gift of Injury. It's about my career as a powerlifter, where I broke my back in 2009. It was told I'd never lift again. Doctors wanted to do surgery on me, told me I'd always be in pain. I hooked up with a guy named Dr. Stuart McGill in Canada. We wrote a book called Gift of Injury, and it was me coming back to powerlifting in 2020, October. I was the first person to squat over 1,300 pounds in competition.
Wow. Wow. That's phenomenal. First of all, salute. And I love how you leveraged something that would be a setback in order to propel you and help other people as well.
In the title, Gift of Injury.
Yeah, that's amazing.
All I want to do is share my story, right? And guide people using the experiences that I've gone through. I definitely speak freely and openly about therapy, right? I have tools that I've developed, habits that I've developed, like meditation, journaling, yoga, just mindfulness, breath work. There's a lot of tools available to us that we now have so much information about that we didn't have 20, 30 years ago, right? That our parents didn't have. And I think experimenting with these different tools, I think everyone should try to experiment. Don't try to do everything at once, right? Don't think, oh, I need to develop a journaling habit, and I need to meditate twice a day, and I need to do this, and I need to do that. No, start with one, right? If you have the resources to get a therapist, if you have the resources to get a life coach, I 100% advise people to do that, right? If you can get help, it's a game changer. But if you don't have the resources, it's okay. If you have a smartphone, that's all the resources you need. But you do need to figure out a way to set up some sort of accountability in your life, right? You need to figure out, okay, how can I develop better habits, right? How can I instill this healthy habit, this habit that's gonna help me heal emotionally, help me address the trauma that I've experienced and heal from that? There's endless resources that people have access to now for little to no money that are helping people heal from their trauma, that are helping people develop self-awareness. But we gotta know that it's okay. Like, especially Black men, we feel like, we don't do that. I don't need to talk to anyone. I don't need to meditate. I'm not a monk.
I had to go through hard times in 2020. I got married, divorced, had a kid, and lost my grandma all in the same year in 2020.
Wow.
And when I came home from that, man, I didn't know how to handle it. I isolated myself and I was alone, but something in a voice in my head told me that I need to push through and I need to tap into my creativity.
So what's the thing that you use to push you through these dark times?
Yeah, so God, man, my Lord and Savior is Jesus Christ, so I leaned on him in a time of need. And instead of resorting to a lot of drugs and alcohol or counseling, I prayed and I got into a regimen. I created a routine for myself. Wake up, hit the gym, write music, come home, play some video games, just do something like that.
So how has fitness helped you with your mental health?
Yeah, so fitness is everything. That's the foundation. If you're not waking up in the morning and doing some sort of form of exercise, you're really limiting your own potential. You know what I mean? Because that's what gets everything going, to get your mind woke, get your body woke, and get you ready for the day, yeah.
I appreciate you, bro.
Some people think it's some spiritual, like pie in the sky type activity, and it's not. This is a science-based thing. Meditation heals our brain. I like to say meditation is how I learned the nature of my mind, right? Just being present in the moment, observing the activity of my mind from an objective standpoint, right? From a third-party standpoint. When I meditate, I'm able to listen to my thoughts, observe my thoughts as if I'm someone else outside of me, and I can see what's going on. Because our brains, bro, our minds are super active, and it's a survival mechanism, right? But when you understand that, it gives you this power to detach from it and not so much allow yourself to ride these waves of negative thoughts and negative emotions. It's like you have to understand that this is just what your mind is going to do. Your mind is going to introduce all types of crazy thoughts, most that are totally false, right? And once you develop that awareness around the nature of your mind, it frees you. You're gonna have times where you're happy and you're gonna have times when you're not happy. You can't expect to always feel good. You feel what I'm saying? You can't expect to always be in the best shape mentally. But what you can control is how you react, right? Because it's not so much the thought that is detrimental, it's what that thought causes you to do. Again, that formula, thoughts creates feelings, right? The thought creates the feeling. The important part is the action. What you do with that feeling is what you have control over. We'll never have control over our thoughts.
I motivate myself every day.
Motivate yourself.
Yes, and I see how far I came, and so I keep going. You know, I don't give up. That's why.
So you stay focused. You keep your
Yes,
goals.
Goals, yes.
And
Doesn't matter what happens. Sometimes you got good times, bad days, but you keep focused and keep going.
That's what's up, man.
Yeah.
Well, congratulations on your.
I want to help people, especially black men, free themselves from the prisons that they've created for themselves in their minds.
But I'm definitely following you, and you inspire me, brother.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
I want people to feel empowered when they watch this, because I'm a dude from the hood. I grew up poor. I didn't know a lot of the things that I know now that have empowered me. I want to give people access to this information that changed my life, right? Because, bro, we can free ourselves. We can free ourselves, and I definitely want to contribute to helping people free themselves. I want people to understand that you hold the power. You have the keys, bro. Anyone watching this right now, anybody watching this right now, if you have some situation in your life that you don't like, right? If you have any situation in your life that you are unhappy with, you have the power in any moment to choose to switch your path.